Here is my official Patreon. Please join it because there are many stuffs that I can't share here because of community guidelines. But on my Patreon page, you will get adult Harry stories, Naruto, and Deca 2. Also the quick access for other parts of my story which might take time on YouTube. Also, there are many stuffs you will get here. Please consider joining my Patreon. Link in the description. Hello, welcome back to our channel. So in this video, we are going to see, what if Naruto held Rias in Hokage office? This is movie and subscribe for more amazing content. I request you to check out author and story named The Dark Sacrifice by Unknown 2248. So please check out. Let's get in video now. And now, let the marriage between Riser Phoenix and Rias Gremory commence. Hold it right there, yelled out a boy. Bucho's virginity is mine. Everyone looked at the person who had just crashed the wedding with varying expressions. Some people looked hopeful, thinking that he would be the one to save Rias from her unwanted arranged marriage, while most of everyone else just scowled at the boy. Issei, what are you doing here? I told you specifically to stay back and stay out of this, exclaimed Rias, looking worried that he may do something reckless. I couldn't just stay back while you were going through all of this. I'm probably the only one who can save you from your marriage right now, explained Issei. I felt so useless during the raiding game. Like I hadn't done much at all, even though I have such a powerful sacred gear. But now I will show you that I'm not weak and beat Riser up until he has to cancel this marriage. Oh really now? You think you can beat me up when you failed so terribly during the raiding game? Taunted Riser. A low-class devil could not possibly hope to defeat a high-class devil such as myself. You are not even worth my time, so guards, take him away. Before the guards could apprehend Issei, Surzex Lucifer commanded the guards to halt and sent them away. Surzex, what is the meaning of this? Yelled out Riser, even you can't even stop this wedding now. You are abusing your powers and are going against the contract that our families have written. Calm down, Riser. I just thought this wedding was pretty boring, so I hired some entertainment. A battle between Issei Hayudu and Riser Phoenix, Dragon versus Phoenix, talent versus hard work. Now that is a battle that I think everyone would like to see, wouldn't you agree? Said Surzex with a grin on his face. I don't think that is necessary since I am clearly the favored to win. It wouldn't be much of an entertainment if the fight is extremely one-sided, and plus, I have nothing to gain by fighting him, replied Riser, obviously annoyed with how his wedding was turning out thus far. How about this, Riser? If Issei wins, then the marriage is cancelled. However, if you win, then you gain full control of Rias' peerage, meaning that you can do whatever you want with them. Surzex, you can't stake the lives of my entire peerage on this one fight, yelled out a very nervous Rias. She had faith in Issei, but not enough faith to put the lives of her peerage on him. They were basically family to her. Trust me, Rias, all will go well, and smoothly replied Surzex, trying to calm his little sister down. So what do you say, Riser? I'll humor you and accept this challenge. But don't blame me if I put that low-class devil over there in a critical state from our battle. Longinus user or not, it means nothing if the user is too weak, said Riser with a smug grin on his face. There we have it, folks. Let the battle begin. And with that, everyone teleported to a stadium to watch the battle commence. At the stadium, Rias and her peerage watched the battle with trepidation, hoping that Issei had thought of a plan of some sort to win. Akino, seeing her king's troubled state, tried to calm her down. Rias, have faith in Issei. He is the type of person who won't give up that easily. I know, but Riser is practically immortal. How could he even hope to defeat him? Kiba called out to Rias and Akino. Guys, the battle is starting. At the battlefield, give up, Issei. This is a pointless fight if you know you are just going to lose. No, I have worked too hard to lose and have sacrificed too much. I will win and bring Bucho back with me, with all of us. Issei screamed out passionately. So be it then. Don't lose too quickly now. Entertain me. Riser stretched out his arm, firing a multitude of fireballs from his hand. Seeing this, Issei jumped out of the way before activating his sacred gear and running at Riser. He leaned in for a punch, just for Riser to move out of the way last second and grab a hold of his arm before setting it ablaze on fire. Ah! Howled Issei, feeling his arm being burnt to pieces. However, he pushed through the pain and managed to punch Riser with his other arm, which was enough to push him back and away from Issei. Issei examined his arm, finding it to be completely burnt and that he could barely move it at all. I think it's the best time to use my trump card now. Don't you see how pointless it was to go against a phoenix like me? You are nothing to me. In fact, if it wasn't for your sacred gear, you king would have left you to die. It's too bad you are so weak that you can't even wield it to its fullest potential. You are practically useless to your king now. Taunted Riser, expecting he had broken Issei's spirit enough that he would forfeit. Boost. Enough. What you said may be true, but don't think that that will be enough to bring me down. I still have my trump card left, and you are about to witness it. Boost. The one thing I was really ever good at was my determination to never give up. Boost, 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 boost. Explosion. Balance breaker activate. Scale mail. Behold my balance breaker. This is it, Riser. I will show to you my true strength. At the stadium, everyone from Rias Peerage looked at the scene in front of them with worrying expressions. Issei's arm had just been burnt to crisps by Riser. His chances of winning were diminishing by the second. But then a light appeared from within the battlefield to reveal Issei, but in his balance breaker state. Everyone was dumbfounded at what they were witnessing. Even Kaneko, who rarely, if ever, shows her emotions. What? How could he have achieved his balance breaker? It usually takes years for someone to unlock their balance breaker, yet he has only been a devil for a couple of months, exclaimed Rias. Just what did he do to achieve this? He sacrificed his arm to the dragon, explained Asia, who just so happened to be sitting next to her. Asia? Since when did you get here? I was here the whole time, but nobody really noticed me. Really? Sorry, your small stature was really hard to notice with all of the drama that was going on, said Rias in an apologetic tone. It's okay, Rias-senpai, but like I was saying, he sacrificed his arm to the dragon. Do you see what he is holding in his left hand? A holy cross? Did you give him that for this battle, Asia? Questioned Rias. All she got from Asia was a nod. This stupid plan may actually work, Rias said hopefully. At the battlefield, so what? You unlocked your balance breaker mode. Big deal. You are still too weak to even face me, no matter how many times you power up. 0 times 1,000 is still 0. Just you wait, Riser. I'm going to wipe that smug grin right off your face. And with that, Issei rushed forward, catching Riser off guard before punching him right in the face with his left hand. Got him. I wonder how he will feel being exposed to a holy object, he thought, remembering Rias' lessons about the weaknesses of devils. It'll take a lot more than a punch to beat me, Riser exclaimed before rushing to Issei and punching him right across the face. He then grabbed onto Issei's arm before he could get launched backwards, then pulled Issei back to him to knee him right in the stomach. Riser forcefully threw Issei right into the stadium wall, leaving a multitude of cracks at the impact. How could he take a boosted punch right in the face with a holy object and get back up okay? Even the healing powers of the Phoenix clan are still weak to holy objects. Issei wondered what was going on. He knew that Riser wasn't one to use close combat, but instead just overpower his enemies with his fire. Everything I had worked so hard for, the plan I had come up with, was flawless. I was supposed to exploit his weaknesses, so why wasn't it working? Riser looked at Issei's body with indifference. I broke most of the bones in his body, so he shouldn't be getting up anytime soon. I kind of feel bad for the kid, but I've gone through too much for regrets now. Well boy, this is it, Riser said before activating the seals in his arms and launching a gigantic fireball straight at Issei. Graphia's voice was shaky, but she still managed to say, Issei Hyudu has lost. Riser Phoenix has won the battle. At the stadium, BB, but how? How could Issei have lost? He had planned everything to the exact detail. Asia cried out. Was it all for nothing? No, this can't be. I've worked so hard to get out of this marriage, yet I still failed. I'm sorry, everyone. I've failed you as my king, Rias cried out. Everyone there tried to comfort her, but to no avail. Graphia then walked up to the group and said, Rias, it's time for the wedding. Please come quick. Then she walked away, give Rias time to cope with her loss. At the wedding, Rias was horrified. This was her worst nightmare, being married to Riser Phoenix. She tried her best to get rid of the marriage, but to no avail. No matter how many sacred gear users she had, she could never get past the regeneration abilities of the Phoenix clan. I should have spent more time researching about Riser and training my peerage instead of looking for more members, and now I'm paying the price for it. Rias thought to herself, looking back at what she could have done to prevent the outcome from happening. Knock knock. Rias, dear, the wedding is about to start. Come out, proclaimed a voice on the other side of the door. 5 more minutes, please, pleaded Rias, not wanted to go out there and confront the inevitable. You've said that 4 times by now. You might as well get this over with, don't you think, dear? Fine. I'm coming, Mom, just give me a moment. Just be quick now. Everyone is growing impatient by the second. As Rias heard the footsteps walk away, she looked back at the mirror of her dressing room to examine herself for the 100th time. It's now or never, I guess, although I'd much rather prefer never, and with that last thought, she walked outside. Venolana Gremory was walking away from her daughter's dressing room, thinking if this really was the right choice to make for her daughter. At the time, it was a good idea to gain an alliance with the Phoenix household and gain access to their prized Phoenix tiers, but now seeing her daughter's reaction to the whole thing made her regret ever signing the contract in the first place. Nevertheless, it was too late to turn back now. Venolana walked up to the front of the stage and announced to everyone that Rias would be out in just a moment. She looked at the crowd nervously since they had been waiting for 20 minutes and were getting very impatient. They had to be in the eating portion of the wedding early because of Rias. A few minutes later, everyone saw Rias come out in her wedding dress. She was walking nervously with her head looking down at the ground, still refusing to accept the outcome. Rias, there you are. Where have you been? Everyone has been waiting very patiently for you to arrive. Riser asked. It's okay to be nervous, since this is your very first wedding after all. Rias didn't respond, nor did she even look at him, trying to still be defiant, even though she couldn't do anything about the marriage. Riser walked to the front of the stage with Rias by his side and exclaimed, "Before the wedding goes underway, I would just like to propose a toast," Riser said, lifting up a glass of wine in his hands, as did everyone else. Today we are gathered here for 2 of the most prestigious clans to come together and unite as one. So please let us enjoy this wedding to the fullest. And with that final statement, Riser threw his glass down onto the ground and, acting as a signal, smoke bombs burst into the room, filling it up with its contents, except that it wasn't smoke at all, it was poison. As the purple gas filled up the room, all the participants started to cough heavily, trying to expel the gas out of their system, but to no avail. Some of the weaker devils, such as Sai, passed out instantly from the overexposure of the gas. He looked on at the scene, admiring his handiwork, before he had to quickly step aside as a crimson orb flew past him. He looked at the person who had tried to attack him and noticed a few more people there with the man. So the 4 Maos and the strongest queen have to come fight me, he thought while analyzing the situation before him. Who are you, and what is the meaning of this? Yelled out Surzex, who was not only furious at the fact that her sister had lost, but now at the fact that this person had the audacity to attack them at an event such as this. What have you done to the real Riser Phoenix? Surzex, you must calm down. We are facing an unknown enemy who could disguise himself as a high-class devil without any of us even knowing. We do not know what he is capable of, and plus there are most likely more people involved in this attack to pull off a stunt such as this. Grafia told Surzex. It doesn't matter. I am the strongest devil, so I'm pretty sure I can take him down very easily. Plus, all of us together should be more than enough to beat him. Surzex replied arrogantly, although he had every right to be. So I guess the poison doesn't work on ultimate class beings such as yourself. A shame, really. Guess I will have to ask Kuroka to enhance the effects more, I guess. The man said to himself before smoke enveloped his body, revealing a tall blonde man with 3 whisker marks on each side of his face. Well, this is going to get interesting, don't you guys think? So you are working with Kuroka as well, I see. Well, no matter. We will just have to take both of you out, Surzex said, forming his trademark power of destruction in his hand. All of the other Maos did the same, preparing to take him out, when suddenly the man grabbed a hold of Rias and pulled out a holy sword in his other hand and held the sword up to Rias' throat. I don't think you would want to do that, Surzex. I mean, what if your precious little Amudo got hurt, or better yet, killed by me, the man said with a dark smile that was etching onto his face. Why, you coward, unhand her right now, Surzex exclaimed, trying to think of some way to save Rias. Grafia then whispered a plan into his ear that just might work. All right, Ajuka, Falbium, attack him with everything that you have, roared Surzex before launching his own attack at the man, only for him to barely avoid the massive attack that was sent his way. Now Grafia, Seraphal, All of a sudden, ice pillars formed right around the man and Rias before encasing both of them in ice right where they were standing. At least that was what they thought would have happened. Instead, before the ice could even get close to them, it was stopped by a barrier of some sort. Did you really think that I wouldn't have come prepared for any and all possible threats? I think you have underestimated my planning into all of this. And then he stomped his foot on the ground, revealing to the group the many runes that were inscribed there. All of a sudden, a purple barrier encased the group. I wouldn't try that if I were you, said the man, seeing as Seraphal was about to touch the purple barrier. He then threw his sword right at the group, but before it could reach them, the barrier completely disintegrated the sword into nothingness. No need for this hostage anymore, said the man as he unceremoniously threw Rias' unconscious body to the ground. You bastard! I swear once this is over I will hunt you down and kill you for what you have done. Surzex growled at the man, seeing him throw his little sister to the ground. Yeah, you're going to hunt me down and kill me, whatever. You know, when you hear that phrase 1,000 times, it starts to lose meaning. Now I know that you may have a ton of questions for me, and I will answer them in due time. First off, introductions. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and yes, I have been working with Kuroka. We are actually in the same faction as one another called the Cows Brigade, led by none other than Ophis herself. The now proclaimed Naruto explained. Now you might be wondering why I'm telling you all of this information, and well, the reason is that we are starting to put our name out there for people to see. Call it a publicity stunt of some sort to get more people to join our cause, you know? But that's only part of the reason. The other part is that I need access to Ajuka's laboratory here. It contains a lot of information that Ophis needs. And why the hell should I tell you anything, Naruto? Ajuka said with a scowl on his face. Well, you see here, I have all of the cards in my hands. Every single high-class devil family came here to witness such a grand event only to find themselves unconscious from the poison that is in their bodies. I've locked this place down with my group so nobody is getting in, and they sure as hell aren't getting out. This type of poison can knock a person unconscious in a couple of minutes before killing them in about 5 hours-ish. And I could keep this barrier up for however long that I want to, so we can definitely play the waiting game. Naruto explained slyly. And since I am the only one who has the antidote for said poison, I'm really your only hope for saving everyone here. Don't think you can intimidate us. I'll find a way out of this barrier, and once I do, Ajuka, just do what he says. Surzex sighed out. He has us trapped and I can't, and won't risk the lives of everyone here. He's right, Ajuka. Just do what he says. I can't find a way out of this barrier, and using our powers won't be any good either. Graphia calmly said. He's got us right where he wants us. Fine. My lab is in the familiar forest, just past Tiamat's cave, who is on constant guard for any and all intruders. Your poison won't work on her since she's on the same level as all of us here, so don't think you can get past her so easily. Ajuka said. Well, your so-called guardian has been taken care of beforehand, so no need to worry about that. What? How did you get past her so easily? She is the strongest dragon king. I sealed her inside the cave indefinitely before this all went down. Pretty easy as well, seeing how she never even noticed that I was there in the first place. Although maybe that was because I was disguised as a Ajuka. This was bad. If this person could take down Tiamat so easily, then there was no telling what else he could do. Then Naruto held his hand to his ear, revealing an earpiece and retelling the information that he was given. Well, my guys are making their way to your lab, so I guess we are done here, Naruto said before releasing the purple barrier and tossing Rias over to Surzex. He caught the girl examining her for any injuries of the slightest and was relieved when there was none. And the antidote? Ajuka questioned. Oh, that's right. Almost forgot, Naruto said before reaching into his suit and pulling out a small vial that contained a blue liquid, presumably the antidote. He then tossed the small vial over to Ajuka, who swiftly caught it before it could reach the ground. What is this? This is not nearly enough to cure one person, let alone everyone here, Ajuka yelled. I thought we had a deal, and I fulfilled my end of it. I gave you the antidote, but I never specified how much of it I would give to you. You're the genius here. Mass-produce more of it, Naruto said as he started to walk away before being intercepted by a wall of ice in front of him. If you think we're going to let you get away after all of this, then you're wrong, Seraphal said, being surprisingly serious for the first time in her life. I didn't think I would either, but that's why I have Plan B on my side. Naruto said, smiling before stretching his arm out. A huge mass amount of energy bubbled at his hand before it launched out in front of him, creating a portal. Now, I don't know if you guys can survive the harsh conditions of the dimensional rift, but luckily for me, I can. See ya all later, Naruto said, but before he could walk into the portal, a voice cried out to him. Wait, before you leave, what did you do to Riser Phoenix? Questioned Surzex. While he may not have liked the Riser, he was still the son of his parents' best friends, and they would be saddened to see him not return home to them. Don't worry about Riser. Tell his family that they will see him very soon. Naruto replied darkly before walking into the portal and disappearing. The portal closed right after his exit to show them that he was actually gone. Not a sign that would reveal that he was ever there in the first place. Surzex, what do we do? Grafia called out to him. It took him a while to get his bearings, but when he did, he issued out his commands. Ajuka, go to your lab and mass-produce more of the antidote while I'll check on Tiamat. Falbium, scan the area to see if there are any more of his followers lurking around. Seraphal and Grafia will tend to the people here. Surzex commanded. He needed to start damage control immediately to regain whatever control of the situation that he could. Hi, everyone said as they set out to do as they were told. Unknown area. Ophis was enjoying her usual silence of solitude in her room alone. Silence was all she ever wanted in the dimensional rift until Great Red came in and ruined all of that. So obviously her next plan of action was to create a group combining all of the most powerful people that she could find to expel the dragon out of the dimensional rift. But she needed something bigger, something greater. As crazy as it would sound, she was planning to unseal 666 before transporting it to the dimensional rift, causing it to rampage and making it fight Great Red. She then would launch a full-scale attack on both of them at their weakest, hoping to get rid of Great Red before she would seal it once again. At least that was the rough draft of it, since it was not completely going to work out the way she wanted it to, but she needed to have somewhat of a plan first. She needed to start small though, so she decided to gather as much information as she could before making any final decisions on her plan. Hey Ophis, I'm back from that mission you gave me, cried out a voice. She heard their footsteps come closer and closer to her. When they finally got to her, she recognized their face. It was Naruto, her personal assistant, and one of the very few people she could trust. Hello, Naruto. Did the mission go well? Yeah, everything worked out perfectly. A little too easy if you ask me. I mean, I infiltrated the place and set up everything without getting noticed or caught whatsoever. Well, you do specialize in missions, such as this one, due to your abilities. Yeah, I guess. Well, here are the files. I'll be going now. I've got to talk to Kuroka and thank her for the poison that she gave me. And with that, he walked away. She looked at the files that were on her desk and briefly skimmed over them. She relaxed back in her chair, thinking about what her next step would be. The current Lucifer will probably contact Azazel and Michael about our group. Things will only get harder from here, but that is just a given. Ophis sighed, relaxing in the comforting silence before she closed her eyes and went to sleep. Phoenix household. 2 days after the attack, the Phoenix household was in shambles after the incident. There was no signs whatsoever of Riser, and even though she was told by Surzex that everything would be okay, she felt like it wouldn't be. Knock, knock. Come in. Lady Phoenix, a package has arrived for you, said one of the maids working at the household. Who sent it? It doesn't say. All right, just leave it on my desk. After performing her task, the maid quickly left to resume whatever duty she was working on beforehand. As Lady Phoenix was approaching the box, she had a bad feeling. She didn't know anyone who would give her anything during this time, as every other devil household was still recovering from the attack. Lady Phoenix thought of the worst possible option as to what could be in the box. So she carefully opened it and shrieked. Ah! Lord Phoenix, her children, and the servants came rushing quickly to her, trying to understand why she was screaming. Dear, what's the matter? Asked Lord Phoenix. Our Riser Eye is dead, she said before revealing what was in the box. Inside the box was Riser's head with a note attached to it that said, "This is only the beginning. We plan to do just more than attack the 4 mouths. Oh, we plan to do so much more. Beware and hope that our paths never cross. Sincerely, the Cows Brigade." After saying my goodbyes to Ophis, I walked down the corridors of our home base, trying to find out where Kuroka's room was at. The base was like a labyrinth with many twists and turns and dead ends at every corner, but I knew the layout of it like the back of my hand since, after all, I designed it to be that way. The building was home to many other factions within the Cows Brigade who used the place as their base of operations. I designed the headquarters to be a dark maze so that it wouldn't be easily taken over by invaders. Everyone who was in the faction had seals on them, which allowed for them to see everything clearly instead of the darkness that the intruders would see. After reaching my desired destination, I was about to knock on the door signaling my presence when the door suddenly opened to reveal Kuroka. Naya, Foxy-kun, what brings you here? I've told you many times not to call me that, Kuroka-san, Naruto replied before walking into the room. And I've told you many times to call me Kuroka-chan, but you never listened either. Kuroka yelled out, pointing a finger at Naruto. Kuroka. Kuroka-chan. Naruto stopped himself, seeing her face glaring at him, daring him to call her that again. I came to thank you for that poison you gave me. It really made the mission go a whole lot smoother. However, it didn't seem to affect the devils who were ultimate class or higher. Naruto said before taking a seat on her bed. Well, if I increased the poison's effect any further, you would be affected by it as well. Anyways, it's no big deal. I'm happy to help out a friend, especially someone as good-looking as you, Naya. Kuroka replied seductively, leaning forward into Naruto's face, just a little too close for his comfort. Upon pulling back, she reveled in excitement, seeing Naruto blush slightly before speaking again. So about that deal we made in exchange for the poison, did you do it? Kuroka's tone and expression shifted to become more professional as she sat down on her chair. Naruto took on a more professional attitude as well as he began speaking. Yes, I have. My guys have her locked up in a room and are guarding it as we speak. Take me to her. Of course. Then Naruto got up from where he was sitting and proceeded to lead Kuroka to the room. Hey Foxy-kun, when are you going to give me children like I asked you to? I never agreed to your proposal, just that I would think about it for a really long time. The two kept on walking before they reached their location. Naruto approached the guards and asked them, how is she doing? She still hasn't woken up yet. One of them replied. Okay then, both of you are dismissed. The two guards walked away before discussing to each other what they were going to have for lunch. Naruto then led Kuroka into the room. The room was bland and completely empty, and the walls were slightly torn apart, signifying how old the room was. Originally, the room was meant to be used as a guest room, but the idea was scrapped because the room was just too small. In the corner of the room, there was a person there who was tied up and unconscious as well. This person was none other than Kaneko Tuju, formerly known as Chiron. Naruto and Kuroka went up to the girl and woke her up. Kaneko's perspective, before the kidnapping. After Issei's defeat, he was transported to a safe area to rest up and to heal his wounds. Rias instructed me to go watch over Issei to make sure he was okay. Even though I hated the guy for being so overly perverted, I had to admire the fact that he risked his own life for Rias. As I walked into his room, I noticed that he had just woken up from the moment I stepped into the room. What happened? Issei said weakly as he tried to get up but failed miserably. He had still not fully recovered from the battle, so he was feeling pretty weak. The last thing I remembered was losing. Damn it. After all the work I did, I still failed. Issei yelled out, mad that he had lost to Riser, mad that he had failed to do the one thing he promised to Rias, but most of all, he was mad at his inability to do anything. Issei-senpai, calm down, I said in my usual stoic tone. Issei looked over at me before apologizing for his rather sudden outburst. Rias-senpai told me to look after you in case you would do something stupid. Is the wedding over yet? No, Rias is still in her dressing room trying to stall for as long as she can. So I guess this is it then. Riser wins not only Rias but the whole entire peerage too. We are at the mercy of Riser. I don't like this as much as you do, but we still need to stay strong, for Rias' sake. Yeah, I guess you're right. Issei said sadly before noticing that I had taken out a bag of sweets and began to eat them. Any chance you are willing to share some with me? Issei said with a hopeful smile. No, because you are perverted. What does that have to do with anything? Issei yelled. Come on, Kaneko-chan, please. Just one? Fine here. But before Issei could reach out to grab the snack, they both heard screams coming from somewhere in the main hall. What's going on? You stay here. I'll go check on what's happening. No, I'll come with you. Issei stated before trying to climb out of his bed once again before failing and falling to the floor. Baka, I said before putting Issei back into the bed. You are in no condition whatsoever, so just stay here. All I got was a nod in reply. I rushed down the hallways trying to get to the main hall when all of a sudden I heard noises behind me. Quickly I turned around to find nothing. I could have sworn I heard something behind me. Then all of a sudden, I saw darkness. When I woke up, I never in my entire life expected to see what or rather who was in front of me. Kuroka ne-sama. Hello Chiron. Did you miss your ne-sama? Where am I and what happened to my friends? I saw a tall blonde man approach me. As he got closer to me, I could notice his distinguishable whisker marks on his cheeks, which kind of make him look like a fox. Your friends are fine. As to where you are, well, that's a secret, the man said before untying me. Thought you looked a little uncomfortable there in your restraints. Don't think of trying to escape though, because trust me, you won't even make it through that door, he said, pointing at the door. Who are you? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I was also the one who launched the attack at the wedding. But enough about me. Kuroka is the one you should be talking to. I always wondered what my sister was up to ever since that day. The day when she abandoned me and turned rogue, leaving her younger sister behind. I cried out to Kuroka, why? Why did you leave me behind to become a stray devil? Why did you kill your master? Tell me why, ne-sama. Kuroka calmed herself before calmly answering, I had to do it. He told me that he was going to hurt you, and I just couldn't stand by and let it happen. I did this to protect you. Then why did you leave me behind? They came for me, and I was about to be sentenced to death for what you had done. I couldn't take you with me. The life of a stray devil is something I don't want you to experience. It was filled with constantly running away from people who were trying to kill you. It was simply too dangerous. But they said that you went mad with power while using senjutsu. Naruto ears perked up at the mention of senjutsu. People can use senjutsu in this world as well? I will need to research more about this. I was fully in control when using it, and you can't go mad with power while using senjutsu. It was just a story that they made up assuming that that was the truth to what happened. I'm sorry that I wasn't really there for you, but I'm hoping that you could forgive me, Chiron. How could you expect me to believe you? I was told that you betrayed your master before becoming evil and going mad with power, and now you say something completely different, and you expect me to believe you? Kaniko's eyes were tearing up at this point. She looked Kuroka straight in her eyes and said to her, who am I supposed to believe anymore? How do I know you aren't making this up? There was a long pause before Kuroka finally answered, because I'm your sister and I have never lied to you before. Kaniko was pretty much crying at this point at hearing what her sister said. It was true as well. She had never done anything to hurt her, much less lie to her. You can't just expect me to forgive you for what you've done after all this time. I know that, but I will be there for you now. We both have gotten stronger since that day, and I could teach you how to use your powers. So what do you say, Chiron? Can we be sisters once again? Can you forgive me, please? But what about my friends? I just can't leave them behind. I owe Rias Senpai so much for helping me when I needed it. Everyone there are supportive of me, so they are like family to me now. Accepting your offer is like going behind their backs, and I just can't. I would become a stray devil at that point. Chiron, I'll protect you. I'll do whatever it takes for you to come back to me so that we can be a family once again. You can always make new friends as well. Kuroka exclaimed while holding her hand out to me. I thought about it. I thought about all the repercussions that would come from this decision as well as the benefits. On one hand, I would be reunited with my sister, and deep down, I still wanted to be with her even after all she did. She would be able to train me, and I would get much stronger. On the other hand, I would cut all ties with my friends, which I didn't want to do whatsoever. Even if I didn't show it, I cared about each and every person that was in the peerage, even Issei to an extent. Not only that, but I would also become a stray devil, which would break Ria's heart once she finds out. I can't, Kuroka ne-sama. I can't. I said shakily before continuing. I can't abandon all of my friends who had cared and looked after me all of this time. Don't get me wrong here. I do want to reconnect with you after all this time, but I can't run away with you. I'm sick of all of the running. So sorry, but the answer is no. Kuroka's smile faded away before it turned into a frown. Seeing this, I felt sad and said, but that doesn't mean we still can't be sisters. Kuroka quickly looked up at me when hearing what I said. You mean you forgive me? Yes, and while it may take some time to get used to it, I'll also let you train me. After I had said that, I was tackled and crushed by Kuroka's hug. Thank you, Chiron. Thank you for forgiving me after all I had done. I was so worried that you would never forgive me. Kuroka cried out with tears in her eyes. It's okay, Kuroka-ne-sama. No need to get so emotional. We can still be a family after all of this, I said before giving in and hugging her back, crying as well. Regular perspective. Naruto looked at the two crying girls and sighed. They might be at this for a long while. After 10 minutes of long crying and hugging, the two let each other go. Well, Chiron, this is goodbye for now. I'll train you at a later date. Don't hesitate to call me for help, okay? Kaneko just nodded at her, still sniffling. Get her back to Kuo, Naruto, she said as she walked out of the room. If your friends ask you where you were, just tell them that you had encountered your sister while trying to get to the main hall of the wedding. The two of you talked out your differences before making up. You got that? Kaneko nodded as her response before she was quickly knocked out by Naruto. Naruto then applied his chakra into her brain, altering her memories to match the story by sealing off sections of her memory and making new ones. Can't have her telling all of this to her friends. I hope you know what you are doing, Kuroka, because if one day you can't accomplish the mission because of her, then I won't hesitate to take Chiron out. He thought of how he got to be this way, how he got to this world in the first place. Flashback. Kaguya had separated Naruto and Sask from everyone else by teleporting them into a different dimension with just the three of them alone. Shit, this isn't looking too good, Naruto thought. Both Sask and he were on their last legs right now while Kaguya still had plenty of chakra to spare. Sask, I have a plan. Naruto walked over to Sask before telling him said plan. That has to be one of most ridiculous and dangerous plan I have ever heard, but it's all we have right now. Sask replied before moving into formation. Naruto activated his Six Paths Sage mode before preparing himself for their final attack against Kaguya. Opening his eyes, he held out his hand before gathering an immense amount of energy in the palm of his hand. He gathered all of the chakra he had along with all of the tailed beast's chakra that were inside of him. Wind blew out from every direction, tossing dirt and rocks around everywhere. Naruto then added elemental chakra into hand as well, enhancing it with even greater power. Then he added his truth-seeking balls as a casing for the mass amount of energy, molding it into an arrow. The final end product was a gigantic arrow made of all of the tailed beast's chakra, as well as every element added to it, and it was cased with his truth-seeking balls. It reeked with raw energy and power, and turned the air around them less dense, making it harder to breathe. Sask, now. Sask activated Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and looked at the arrow before shouting, Amaterasu. The arrow was set on fire, coating it in the black flames. Sask then activated his perfect Susanoo and took the arrow and his bow out before taking aim at Kaguya. Kaguya merely raised an eyebrow at this, letting them do as they wished. She would not be bested by the two of them. She wouldn't let them. All that was standing in her way from complete victory were the two of them. Don't think you will be able to take me down by that silly arrow of yours, boy, she said before holding out her hands. You will now witness my greatest attack. Expansive truth-seeking ball. A gigantic coalition of energy appeared in front of her hand in the shape of a gigantic ball. Let this be our final attack. Let this decide the fate of your world, Kaguya said before launching her attack at them. Seeing as how Kaguya made her move, Sask did the same, firing the arrow with perfect aim. The two masses of chakra collided against each other, fighting for supremacy. Everyone, including Kaguya, had trouble not being blown away from the power that the two attacks were exuding. The wind shook around the two attacks, and it was strong enough to dislodge trees from their roots, as well as toss boulders around like they were nothing. They all had to shield their eyes as a bright light was emitted before looking back in complete shock at what they were seeing. The two attacks collapsed into each other before forming a massive black hole that was sucking everything within range inside of it. Everyone tried to stay implanted into the ground, trying not to get sucked in. Well, boys, I guess this is goodbye. You both will die here while I will teleport back to your dimension before taking over the world. Sask's Susanoo was able to keep him cemented into the ground, but not for very long. Naruto finally couldn't stand his ground and flew toward the black hole, but Sask grabbed his hand before that could happen. Naruto, this is it. You will have to be the one to stop Kagaya. But how? I can't seal her alone, and there's a black hole in front of us. You have to be the one to stop her. I can't. I will launch you over to her using the Rinnegan. But what about you? I'm not going to make it back alive, Naruto. Just promise me that you will stop her. I can't leave you behind. What about all of the other back home? Sakura-chan will be devastated if you died. You have to, and you will. Everyone else will miss you too. This is a sacrifice I have to make. Kagaya will turn everyone into her army. Are you going to let that happen knowing that you could have stopped her? I know I haven't been the best of friends, but take this as my own way of redemption. Naruto was tearing up knowing that he had to stop Kagaya. Okay, I'll do it. I would have made you do it even if you refused. You ready? Yeah, Shinra Tensei. Naruto was launched full force to the other side, and he was able to narrowly escape the black hole. Before Kagaya had the chance to teleport away, she saw Naruto heading full force at her. Naruto latched onto Kagaya, and the two of them teleported away. After Sasuke saw the two teleport away, he closed his eyes, knowing what was coming next. This is the end, huh? Well, I'll accept it. Naruto, please defeat Kagaya. Not for my sake, but the sake of everyone else. And with that last thought, he deactivated everything and was pulled into the black hole, completely swallowed by the darkness. Naruto and Kagaya both teleported to another different dimension. Naruto jumped back, narrowly avoiding Kagaya's all-killing bone flying past him. Shit, how do I beat Kagaya now? The old man said that both he and his brother had to both seal Kagaya together, but I'm all alone. That last attack took a lot out of me as well. Give up, boy. Your friend's sacrifice was in vain since you need two people to seal me. I have one. Don't think I will give up so easily. Naruto, a voice called from within Naruto. Kurama, what is it? I'm kind of busy right now. There is only one way to beat her now. You need to consume a chakra fruit just like she did. With all of that power, you can defeat her. How am I supposed to do that? Aren't those trees extremely rare and hard to find? I sense that there is still a god tree in this dimension. You will have to find it quickly before Kagaya kills you. Guess I will have to somehow stall her. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. 1,000 Naruto clones popped up in smokes, ready to stall Kagaya. More clones? Like that will help you, Kagaya said before moving to kill all of them. Those clones won't be able to keep her busy for very long. I must go now. Naruto quickly ran away from the onslaught that were his clones. All right, Kurama. Where do I go? Look up. Naruto looked up to see a massive tree that seemed to pierce the heavens itself. He quickly started moving to the tree's destination, only to be stopped by Kagaya. Don't think I didn't know what you were planning. From the moment we got here, I sensed that there was a tree here too, and I won't let you get near it. Great, what now? Naruto, you must release us. Kurama said. We will try to stall Kagaya for as long as we can. But what if you die? We can't die. We will just reform again, Kurama said, lying through his teeth. Even chakra beasts like them can't stand up to Kagaya. She will just kill them and absorb all of their chakra. Okay then, how do I do it? It's the same principle as the summoning jutsu. Okay then. Naruto bit his thumb, drawing blood before summoning all 9-tailed beasts. Upon doing so, Naruto almost passed out, seeing how all of his strength left him. Go, Naruto. We will distract her, said Matatabi. Not even you will stop me from achieving my goals, Kagaya said before launching forward at all of them. Seeing how this was his chance, Naruto willed himself to stand up and ran towards the tree. The sounds of fighting permeated throughout the forest that he was in. Pushing what little of his chakra that was left, he ran even quicker, seeing as how it was getting closer by the second. Upon finally making it to the tree, he saw the fruit, but before he could make his way to it, he had to narrowly dodge multiple bones that were flying straight at him. Those masses of chakra were annoying, but I ultimately dealt with them, Kagaya said before continuing. After absorbing their chakra, I'm now stronger than ever before. With that being said, Kagaya launched herself forward at Naruto, preparing to end the battle once and for all. Before she could reach him, however, Naruto substituted himself with a nearby log. And to think that back then I thought that the academy jutsus they taught us were useless. Come out. You can't hide from me forever, Kagaya said before activating her Byakugan and searched for Naruto. Found you. This was not a good situation to be in. Seriously injured as well as nearly chakra depleted. The constant fighting left to major fatigue in Naruto's body, but he couldn't stop yet. Suddenly an idea popped in his head, ridiculous enough to actually work. While setting his plan in motion, he thought about how his friends were doing. If he didn't stop Kaguya, then the world would practically be over. Naruto had to end his thoughts there as he felt Kaguya advancing on him. Turning around, he saw Kaguya bring out her bone and stab him right before Naruto replaced himself again with a log. But this time it had an explosive tag on it. Kaguya took the full blow of the explosion and left without a single scratch on her skin. She looked over to Naruto's position and said, "Such weak attacks can't affect me anymore. This is the end." She said this while pointing her bone at him. She rushed at him, once more only to find herself restrained by ninja wire. "This won't be enough to stop me," she said before getting set on fire by a fireball jutsu courtesy of Naruto. Then he trapped her in a reinforced earth barrier. All of this was futile as suddenly she broke through everything within a second. "Fun times are over," Kaguya said before launching a plethora of bones toward Naruto. Naruto had no time to dodge as he was impaled by the bones, only to replace himself again, but this time with the chakra fruit. "What? Where are you, boy?" she said before looking around for him, once again with her Byakugan before finding Naruto once more. She rushed forward at him hoping to finish this, only to find he disappeared and replaced himself with a clone. After dispelling it, she found Naruto at the chakra fruit about to eat it. There was a clone there? How did I not spot it? "No!" Kaguya yelled, trying to stop Naruto before he ate the fruit, but it was too late. Naruto ate the fruit and gained immense powers from it. Kaguya stopped in her tracks, noticing the power that was exuding from the boy. "How did I not spot your clone? I had him camouflage himself along with his chakra signature. Your Byakugan wouldn't have spotted him." "This is over, Kaguya." With the being said, he rushed at Kaguya before taking away all of her power and absorbing it himself. "No, I will not be stopped here. Naruto Uzumaki, if I die here, then I'm taking you with me." Before all of her power could be taken away, she summoned a dimensional portal in front of them, and it was sucking them in. "I don't know where that dimension leads, but you will be living your life there until the end of eternity." And with that final comment, she had all of her powers drained away. Naruto did not have long to seal her, but he managed to do it before getting sucked into the portal. He was flying through the portal, and he only felt one thing: immense amount of pain. It felt like his body was being burnt and ripped apart at the same time. Hours seemed to pass when it was only a few seconds. Then he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Unknown place. Ophis was having a nice day basking in the silence when all of a sudden, she felt a strange power signal. Curious as to why, she teleported herself there. "Perhaps I can recruit them to join my faction." Random forest on the outskirts of Japan. A body could be seen flying out of a portal and harshly landing on the ground. Naruto was not feeling good at all. The battles have taken a massive toll on his body, and he just wanted to get some sleep. He noticed that his chakra coils were shot to hell, and that he barely had any now. "I guess consuming the chakra fruit was just too much for my body to handle." He wanted to get some sleep, but he couldn't as he had to examine this new dimension Kaguya had sent him to. He looked around to find himself in an empty forest. Naruto tried to get up before falling down immediately. He managed to get up again using a tree for support and started to walk forward slowly. What was he going to do now? He was in a new world that he knew nothing of and with no sure way how to get home. He was all alone in this new world with no one else but himself. "Kurama, are you there?" No response. "Oh yeah, they all sacrificed themselves for me. I truly am all alone now." Naruto then fell down again, but this time he didn't get back up. He was wondering how his friends would all feel, how they would react to his and Sasuke's disappearance. Naruto tried to stay awake, but his eyes betrayed him. Tired from everything that happened to him, he let himself go and drifted off to sleep. Right after that, Ophis arrived at the scene. She noticed a body that was relaxing against a tree. Walking to the body, she checked for a pulse, something that would signify that the boy was still alive. Realizing that the boy was still alive and was sleeping, she thought to herself, the wounds on his body would suggest that he was in a fight, but I don't sense anyone nearby. Wait a minute, Those burn marks are similar to the ones that you would get from the dimensional rift. Was he somehow able to survive inside of it? Nevertheless, he could be useful. And with that last thought, she picked the boy up before teleporting away. Abandoned building nearby in the forest, Naruto woke up, feeling refreshed and awake, only to find a girl that was watching over him. Who are you? My name is Ophis. The girl replied before continuing. I noticed your wounds and decided to treat them. Oh well, thanks. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Do you by any chance know how long I was out? Surprisingly, for 2 days. Due to your wounds, I would have expected 2 weeks. This just further proves how special you are. Thanks, I guess? Let's cut to the chase. I have a faction that I would like for you to join. I will do anything for you to join. Just name the price. Well, if you can somehow open dimensions to other worlds, I would join, but okay, deal. What? Are you saying that you can do that? Of course I can. I'm the infinite dragon god. I'm pretty sure I can open up a dimension for you. But I will only do it if you join my faction. What does your faction do exactly? You see here, I reside in the Dimension Rift, the place you came out of. I enjoy the silence of the place, but another dragon by the name of Great Red invaded my home, and now I can no longer get any peace and quiet. That's why I'm gathering a bunch of strong people, so that we can get him out of my home. Okay then, Naruto said. I'll help you. Only if you promise me to get back to my original home world. So you are from another world? That is very surprising to hear, but yes, I'll promise you to get you back to your own world. After all, everyone who joins usually has a different agenda from mine anyways. Okay then, what is my first task? I don't have anything for you to do at the moment, so for now, nothing. I will come to you when I need something done, so in the meantime, get acquainted with this world. Ophis said before walking to Naruto and giving him a bit of her powers. Naruto felt a rush of power in his body before asking, What did you do to me? Calm down. I just gave you a bit of my power to work with. It enhances your magic power as well as your bones, making you hit harder and withstand more attacks, and it also increases your vitality, but seeing as how you don't have any magic power within you, it just enhances your bone density and increases your vitality. However, you should be able to withstand the environments of the dimensional rift now. Thanks then. Here are some funds so you can buy whatever it is that you need. Ophis said before handing him a large amount of money. I will be leaving now, she said before teleporting away. I guess the first thing to do is see how strong I am after all of that, Naruto thought as he walked out of the run-down building that he was in before heading into an empty field. Let's see how much chakra I have now, Naruto thought before performing his signature jutsu. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. But nothing happened. Not even enough for a clone. Naruto spent many hours going through his large arsenal of jutsus to see what he could and couldn't do. After many hours, he figured out that he had enough chakra as about a genin. He could perform the basic academy jutsus such as Kourimi, Bunshin, and Hinge, as well as the limitless possibilities of sealing. Great. How are these going to help me take down a dragon? Naruto thought before thinking about what he could do. Sealing is probably my best option for offensive attacks as well as my taijutsu. If I can get a bunch of paper and ink, I can probably use sealing for all kinds of things. But first, where is the nearest town at? Naruto thought before walking in a random direction, trying to find the nearest town. Random town? As he was walking into the town, he noticed a few things. First off, this dimension was still inhabited by humans. Said humans had no chakra whatsoever, and that their technology far surpassed what he had ever seen. Metal boxes were roaming around the streets, and the buildings were surprisingly tall. He walked up to a random stranger and asked, excuse me, ma'am, do you know where I could get some paper and ink at? Yes, there is a store not too far from here. Just take a left by the end of this block, and there's a store that should sell what you need. Okay, thanks, Naruto said before he walked away. Making his way to the store, he noticed many people were looking at him strangely. Not that he was bothered by it, since he got mean looks all the time when he was a child. Following the woman's directions, he made it into the store. After searching for the supplies he needed, he walked out of the store realizing that his favorite jumpsuit was not in the best condition. It had tears everywhere and was nearly ripped to shreds. No wonder everyone was looking at me weirdly. Heading to a nearby tailor store, he had the tailor make him replicas of his suit with slight modifications to it, such as more pockets to hold his stuff. After his adventures in the town, He walked back to the clearing. Well, I got the supplies, but what now? Long range is my weakest point right now, so how can I compensate for that? Naruto thought back to his opponents, and he remembered Kakazu. He used multiple puppets that could use all of the elements against his opponents, and they used long-ranged attacks as well. I could seal all of the elemental natures inside the seal to use. Even if he no longer had the tailed beasts sealed within him, he still had perfect control over all of the elements. Naruto, to the best of his abilities, formed a small fireball in his hand before sealing it. He did this with every other element until he was finished, and then attached the seals on his forearm. Testing the seals out, he held out his hands and activated the fire seal and formed a fireball before launching it at the tree, setting the forest ablaze. HHH, what have I done? Naruto yelled before quickly activating his water seal and put the fire out before it could burn any more trees down. That was close. I guess my next objective is to learn more about this strange world, Naruto said to himself before walking back into the town. Back in the town, Naruto walked around town, observing everything that was around him. He noticed that there was a library filled with books that he could read. Walking inside the building, he was confronted by the librarian. She was a head shorter than Naruto and had a voluptuous body just like Anko's. She was wearing glasses and a t-shirt that said quiet in the library. It was very fitting for a librarian like her. Excuse me, do you know where the history section is located at? Yes, follow me. The two of them walked down the aisles of the library before making it to the history section. Here you are. Thanks. My name's Naruto Uzumaki, and yours is? Naruto said, holding out his hand as a friendly gesture. I ain't, no family name, she said briefly before walking away, not even accepting his handshake. Rude, Naruto thought before browsing the history section. Shit, how am I supposed to read all of this without my shadow clones? I really do miss my chakra, Naruto thought solemnly. Well, better get to work. Ain was having a really bad week. She found out that her boyfriend had cheated on her with someone else, and they broke up after that. Instead of her usual positive attitude, she was really mad and annoyed at everyone that talked to her. That's why she barely gave the blonde man that came in any sign of friendship. Looking back at it now, I was pretty rude to him. He didn't do anything wrong, yet I still ignored him. Ain thought. Seeing as it was almost closing hours, she ventured into the library to see if anyone else was still in there before her eyes locked onto the blonde man she saw before. I better go and apologize to him, she thought before walking over to Naruto. It seems that he fell asleep while reading and looking at the multitude of books that were around him. She deduced that he had spent the whole time trying to read as many books as he could. She woke Naruto up before saying, Uzumaki-san, she said, remembering his name. I'm sorry for my behavior towards you earlier today. It wasn't nice of me, and to be honest, I was just having a bad day. It's no problem, Ain-san. Everybody has bad days too, Naruto said groggily. Seeing as it was dark outside, Naruto said, Oh, I'm sorry. Is it closing time already? Yes, it is. Ain replied, Sorry, I'll be going now, Naruto said before grabbing all of the books in his arms. Can I check these out? Sure, that's the least I could do for you. You sure are reading a lot of books about human history, Ain said. Can I know the reason as to why? It's for research purposes, Naruto said. After checking the books out, the two of them were about to leave when Naruto's stomach growled. It seems that you really were reading all day. Did you not eat anything today, Uzumaki-san? I guess I didn't, and by the way, you can just call me Naruto. I'm not really the one for honorifics. Sure, if you just call me Ain, Naruto. Okay, Ain. Do you know any good restaurants to eat here? Hopefully one with ramen. Sure, it's just down the street. Come on, I'll lead you there. Naruto looked at the restaurant that they were about to enter. Here it is, Restaurant Yukihira. It may not look much, but the food here is amazing, Ain said before they both walked inside. When the two of them entered the restaurant, the owner greeted them. Ain-chan, how have you been? I haven't seen you here in weeks, said the owner. The owner was wearing chef's clothes and seemed to be fairly tall, and he also had spiky red hair with bangs kind of like Naruto. Sorry, Somakuen, Food Wars. I've just been busy these couple of weeks. Who's that guy you've got with you? Soma said before whispering to Ain. Is he your new boyfriend? Soma knew that Ain had recently broke up with her boyfriend, and was surprised to see that Iane had already found someone else. What? No. He was just some guy I met while working at the library. I was pretty rude to him, so I offered to him to get dinner since he was starving. Very likely story. I expect you to come back here with him more often. Soma-kun. Sorry, just teasing you. Well, anyways, make sure to come by more often. I miss seeing you here. Will do, Soma-kun. Iane said before they both took their seats. Who was that guy? Naruto asked, noticing their conversation. That's Soma, the head chef here. He took over his dad's restaurant after graduating a prestigious culinary school, so you know that he has to be good. Looking at the menu, Naruto saw that ramen was one of the food items that they served here. What would you both like to order? Said Soma, who walked over to their table, ready to serve them. I'll have the Yukihira dinner special. Iane said. 4 bowls of miso ramen, please. Naruto exclaimed. Naruto, are you sure you can finish 4 bowls by yourself? Of course I can finish 4 bowls by myself. Ramen is the food of the gods. Okay, we'll be right back with your food. So Naruto, tell me about yourself. I haven't seen you in town before and I pretty much know everyone here. Well, I was traveling before I passed by this town to restock on supplies. As for myself, well, there isn't really that much to talk about. Come on, you have to have something interesting about yourself. Maybe a cool story from your travels. Well, I guess I would like to become a writer. Naruto said, remembering how Jiraiya had wrote some interesting books in his lifetime, other than those porn books he made. Being a writer was probably his second alternative if he had ever wanted to really settle down. He learned a lot about writing during his travels with Jiraiya. He missed the old man. Wow, that's interesting. Do you have any ideas on what you would like to write about? I was thinking of writing about a fantasy world filled with action. In fact, I can make some good money writing about my life story and disguising it as just a fantasy novel. Why don't you tell me about yourself now? Well, I work at this town's only library, so I get to meet a lot of people. I'm pretty famous around this town, I would say. I guess that explains how you know everyone around town. Soma came back with their food and brought it to their table. 1 Yukihira dinner special for the lady and 4 bowls of miso ramen for the gentleman. If there is anything else you need, feel free to call me back. Soma whispered to Iane again before whispering, good luck on your date, then quickly walked away before he could get punched by the woman. Iane's face started to get very red hearing that. Hey, are you okay? You don't look too good, Naruto said before place his hand on her forehead. You're also burning up. I am fine in Naruto, no need to worry about me. Iane stuttered out. What's wrong with me? I know that there isn't anything special between us, right? Does he have feelings for me? Oh, come on, Iane. Get yourself together. You look like an idiot right now. Okay then, if you say so. Let's eat now. This food looks really good, Naruto said before digging in. Why yeah, let's eat, Iane said before digging in as well. Naruto quickly finished his first bowl of ramen before moving on to the others. After finishing all of his bowls, Naruto exclaimed, man, this food is delicious. Iane looked at Naruto weirdly, seeing as how he seemed to finish 4 big bowls of ramen in minutes before laughing. Naruto looked at Iane weirdly. What are you laughing at? Sorry, Naruto. It's just that I've never seen someone eat food so quickly. Oh, sorry if that disturbed you. It's just my way of eating ramen. It's okay. It's kind of endearing actually in a weird way. You seem to love ramen though, don't you? Yeah. Like I said, ramen is the food of the gods themselves. Nothing is better than ramen. After their meals were finished, they were presented a check. Here, Naruto. I'll pay for the food. No, it's okay. I'll pay. There's no need for you to pay, Naruto. I can do it myself. Look, if this is about you feeling like you owe me for being rude to me, then it's okay. I already forgave you. I'm not doing this because I feel like I owe you. I'm doing this because I want to. How about this? We split the paycheck. That's fine with me. After the two of them paid for their food, Naruto offered to Iane, here, I'll walk you home. No, I'll be fine. Come on. I insist. You did introduce me to my favorite restaurant of all time, and I have to pay you back for that somehow. Sorry, Tucci-san, you got outclassed this time. Iane reluctantly agreed, and the two of them began making their way to Iane's house. After making it to their destination, the two of them faced each other. Thanks for this nice night, Naruto. I had fun. Same. Would you like to do this again sometime? I'd like that. How about same time tomorrow? Fine with me. Bye, Ain. Naruto said as he saw her leave into her house. Man, that was certainly an interesting day. Ain was really nice as well. I can't wait to do that again tomorrow. Naruto then ran back into the abandoned building. Even though it wasn't the most homely of places, it was still something. Time to read some more. The following days of Naruto's week were the same, reading books and hanging out with Ain. Due to his reading of human technology and civilization, Naruto managed to learn a lot more than what he expected or ever wanted to learn about the human race. He started to meet up with Ain very frequently, and both would almost always be seen near each other every day. Even if they both didn't admit it, they were both very attracted to each other. They went out together many times to do various activities, such as the restaurant they always went to, the park, and now the festival that was happening in the town. Come, Naruto, hurry up, said Ain, who was wearing a light blue yukata with pink flowers on it. Her eyes shine more bright these days since Naruto came into her life. Yeah, I'm coming, said Naruto, who was wearing a black tuxedo instead of his usual orange jumpsuit. He had long since given up trying to convince the woman to let him wear a bit of orange on his suit. She was stubborn like that. Naruto walked up to Ain before both of them left for the festival. Step right up and win a prize. All you have to do is play this simple game, and you can walk home right now with your very own stuffed animal. The two couples noticed the man and walked over to his stand. We would like to play this game, said Ain before paying the man the correct amount of money. Sure thing. So the objective of this game is to take these here knives and throw them to pop those balloons. Don't worry though, they are dull enough so you won't easily get hurt. Here, I'll do it, said Naruto to Ain. When he picked up the knife, he knew that it was weighted to an extent. If I just calculate for this, then... Naruto thought to himself before throwing all three knives and popping all of the balloons, calculating for the different weight of all of them. The man was absolutely stunned that someone managed to beat his game. How about this, young man? If you can do that again, then I will give you one of our bigger prizes. The man said, hoping that he would agree. Sure, why not? Naruto was well versed with using knives, so this game was absolutely easy for him to outsmart and beat. When the man reset the whole game again, Naruto saw that not only were the knives even more weighted this time, but that the balloons were much thicker now, making it harder to pierce with the dull knives. Again, Naruto calculated for the weight difference before throwing the knife, and again he popped all three balloons. Well, congratulations, sir, the man said, hiding his annoyance. Which prize would you guys like? I want the fox one, said Ain. The man grabbed the big fox animal before handing it to the woman. Here you go. Enjoy the festival. Damn, brat. How did he beat my game? I rigged it as much as possible. Look, Naruto, it's you, Ain said, holding the fox up to Naruto's face. It was a joke between them when Ain noticed that the whiskers on Naruto's face made him look like a fox. Thanks for winning this for me, Naruto. It means a lot. It's no problem, really. Come on, there's still so much more things to do. Ain grabbed Naruto's hand and lead him to many more booths. I'm holding her hand, Naruto thought, blushing madly. During the festival, there was a special event to get a happiness and fortune charm. Everyone wanted it, especially Ain. Naruto, I want that charm. What is it? It's basically a good luck charm to give you happiness and fortune. Every year the festival gives on out to one lucky person. I'm going to join the raffle, she said before running away to do just that. Hey Ain, wait for me. Naruto started to run after Ain before catching up with her. I'll enter too so that you'll have double the chances of winning. After everyone else had entered the raffle, they started to choose the lucky winner. And the one who wins the charm is number 249. Come get your prize. I won. I won, Naruto, I won. Ain cried out happily. She got the charm and brought it back to Naruto so that he could see it. Wow, that's nice, Ain. Congratulations, Naruto said before Ain handed him the charm. Why? I would feel guilty if you gave me something and I didn't give you anything back. Consider this a present for you. Naruto hugged Ain before giving her a kiss to thank her. And so the rest of the festival was filled with Ain dragging Naruto to many booths and taking many pictures. After the festival had finished, Naruto walked Ain home again, which was becoming more of a common thing by now. Thanks, Naruto, for accompanying me to the festival. I had a lot of fun today. Me too. I'll cherish this fox animal for as long as I live, You don't have to make such a big deal about it. It's just a stuffed animal. No, it's important to me because you won it for me and it reminds me of you. Ayane said before walking up to Naruto. She went on her tippy toes and kissed him on the lips. Naruto was at first shocked at this, but then started to kiss her back. As the two of them pulled back, they noticed that both of them were blushing deeply. So Naruto W, will you be my boyfriend? Sure Ayane. I'll pick you up for our D-date at the same tea time. It's a D-date then. See you later. Ayane quickly said before going into her house to avoid further embarrassment. I can't believe I actually kissed him. This is the happiest day of my life. Coincidentally, this was the same exact thing that Naruto was thinking as well. I can't believe we kissed. This is the happiest day of my life. What should I wear for our first date? Oh no, I need to buy something nice. Naruto thought before comically running to buy clothes and gifts. The following day Naruto came to Ayane's house at the same time as they would always meet at. He was dressed in his custom-made orange jumpsuit that he got back from the tailor. Naruto knocked on Ayane's door before the door opened up to reveal Ayane is a beautiful red shirt with a pink skirt on that had flowers on it. Shall we got on our date, Ayane? Naruto managed to say without stuttering. We shall. Ayane replied before walking with Naruto to Yukihira's restaurant like they always did. Soma, who was currently at the cash register, noticed the two walk in the restaurant. Well, look how it is. The two lovebirds finally became a couple. How did you know? Ayane asked. They had only been a couple for not even a day yet, and it was surprising to see that someone already knew about it. Oh please, the whole entire town basically made you two unofficial couples already. It was pretty obvious to notice that you two had something going on but couldn't admit to it. Well anyways, will you two be having your usual? You know us too well, Soma-kun. Ayane said before taking a seat with Naruto. You know, I'm not as nervous as I thought I would be for this date. Not that I'm not excited about it. I really am, but it seems so natural since we kept going out together. Ayane had noticed this too. They both had been hanging around with each other for so long that it just felt natural. Is this what love felt like? After having their lunch, Naruto took Ayane to a nearby arcade where they spent the rest of their day playing with each other and just having fun. Then Naruto walked Ayane home, and once again they said their goodbyes to each other. Promise me one thing, Naruto. Sure. Promise me that you'll stay with me forever. Sure, Ayane. Ayane gave him a disbelieving look. How do I know that you aren't just saying that? You know I'm serious about this, right, Naruto? Of course I know, Ayane. And I promise that I'll stay with you too, since I never break my promises. Because that's my ninja way. Okay then, Naruto, goodbye. As Ayane walked back inside her home, she pulled out a summoning slip and summoned a devil. Hey Ayane, how have you been? You haven't summoned me for a while, said a man. He was wearing a plain white t-shirt with some sweatpants on. On the outside, he looked just like a normal human, but on the inside, he was actually a devil signified by the two bat-like wings that were sticking out of his back. Sorry that I haven't summoned you in a long time, Tom. It's just that I have been really busy. Busy with what exactly? Well, I got a boyfriend. A new one? Isn't this a bit early for you to have a new boyfriend? I don't know and I don't care. What I do know is that he is a nice and caring person. Ayane happily said before sitting down on her bed, hugging the stuffed fox that Naruto had won her. Well, that's nice for you. But when are you going to tell him about this supernatural side to the world? I'll eventually tell him, but I don't want to right now. I just want to enjoy my time with him. Ayane said before going into the kitchen to make some food for her guest. After doing so, Tom ate at the dinner table happily. Man, Ayane, your cooking is the best. I'm so lucky to be your regular. Thanks, Tom. You flatter me so much and of course I would do this for you. You are my friend. Thanks, Ayane. You flatter me too much. All I really do anyways is talk to you. Well, I still appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to me. Well, Ayane, I hope your relationship goes well. See ya. And he teleported away. I hope so too, Tom. I hope so too. As Naruto was walking back to the abandoned building where he was living in, he saw Office waiting for him at the front door. I assume you have a mission for me to do? Yes, I will transport you to the meeting room. Office said before doing just that. Unknown place. Naruto and Office teleported into a brightly lit room. He noticed one other person there. From the surface, she looked like a normal girl until he saw that she had cat ears and a tail. Naya. Office, who's this cutie? Naruto, meet Kuroka. She will be your partner for this mission. You guys can get acquainted during the mission. Now moving on, there is a group of devils in this area and I need them eliminated immediately. Why do they need to be eliminated? Naruto asked. The group there were once a part of the faction but decided to rebel, taking a lot of our resources along the way. Alright, that's good and all, but what are devils? It would seem that I forgot to inform you of the supernatural side of this world. Very well, I will tell you. Ophis then gave Naruto a very brief history on the world and about the angels, fallen angels, and devils that resided among the humans. You can learn more from our library here. I also forgot to give you access to teleport here whenever you want, so I will do that now. Ophis said before applying some seals onto Naruto. I will give you the coordinates to their location. I expect to see nothing of them when you two are finished. Ophis handed the two of them the profiles of the devils they were going to kill. It had very detailed information about their strengths, weaknesses, and fears. I forgot to ask you, Naruto, but what exactly can you do? Oh, well, I can use this energy called chakra. Chakra? Like the ones that Yukai can use? Other people can use chakra in this world too. Your partner is a Yukai, so you can learn more of it from her. So what exactly can you do with your chakra? Well, I don't have as much I had before, but for now I can replace myself with surrounding objects, transform into other people just by getting one good look at them, form clones of myself to confuse enemies, and I can also use sealing. Naruto explained, listing off his abilities. Sounds like you are best suiting for reconnaissance missions. Okay, you two can go now. Okay, Naruto, let's go. Kuroka playfully said before grabbing Naruto's arm and putting it in the valley of her breasts and dragging him out of the room. Kuroka-san, can you let me go? I'm feeling uncomfortable. And can you not call me that? Naruto said, trying his best not to blush, but failing terribly. Kuroka let him go before turning to face him. Okay, then I won't call you that, she said before looking at his face, noticing his whisker marks. I'll call you Foxy-kun instead, since you look like a fox. No, but can you not call me that either, Kuroka-san? Just Naruto is fine. No way, Foxy-kun. You'll just have to live with it, she said before running away. Hey, wait for me, Naruto yelled out before running to catch up to her. So Naruto, since you were from another world, would you mind telling me about it? Sure. Everyone from my world had the ability to use chakra, unlike the humans who live in this world. The main occupation of everyone there was to be a ninja. We utilize our chakra to form ninjutsus with them. That doesn't exactly sound like a ninja to me. So what do you think a ninja is? Well, ninjas usually wear all black, instead of the orange jumpsuit you're wearing. They are very stealthy and can assassinate people using various different weapons such as katanas or shuriken. Well, ninjas in my world usually wear black, although I wear this orange jumpsuit since it is my favorite color and the best one. We are stealthy when we want to be, and our ninjutsus can easily assassinate someone. While we do have other weapons, ninjutsu is what we mainly rely on. Some people are born with a Kekii Genkai, which is basically a bloodline ability that some clans have, and each Kekii Genkai is different. There are also other things such as Fuinjutsu and Kinjutsu. So can you give me some examples of ninjutsu and Kekii Genkais? Well, ninjutsu can let you breathe out fireballs or form water dragons and many more things. Most ninjutsus are very flashy, forgoing the element of stealth with the power to kill. There are, however, some jutsus that allow you to stealthily kill someone though. Like I said, Kekii Genkais vary from clan to clan, but they are abilities that only the clan would have. For example, one of the Kekii Genkai from my world allowed the user to use their bones as weapons. While that is interesting to know, there are some differences between your ninjas and our ninjas, but they are generally kind of the same thing. So tell me about the Yukai race. Well, there are multiple different kinds of Yukai, such as Kitsunes and Nikomata like me. We use chakra for our attacks as well. Come on, we are almost there, Kuroka explained before taking Naruto's hand and dragging him along with her. The two of them ran until they reached their designated area. Surprisingly, the devils were in the same town that he first visited. What are you waiting for, Foxy-kun? Kuroka said, seeing as how Naruto had suddenly stopped. Sorry, it's just that I've been to this town before. Great. Now you could show me the way. As the two of them walked, they found the place where the devils were hiding at. The building was abandoned, of course, and a few ways away from the town. After investigating the building and its surroundings, they walked out of town and into a clearing so that they could discuss their plans in private. Okay, I have a plan, Kuroka said. According to these files, they have a regular contractor within the town. We'll kill them and summon the devils here, and you will disguise as them. What? We can't just do this. Can't we do some other plan since we would be involving innocent people into this? Naruto exclaimed, intending to convince Kuroka to think of a different plan. But this is the easiest and smoothest way of doing things. If we face them head-on, then it will attract too much attention. We can just say that someone murdered the contractor too. Kuroka said simply. Naruto understood that he had to do this and that it was the easiest of options, but that still doesn't mean that he would like it one bit. So who's the contractor? Some lady who works at the public library. At this, Naruto's eyes widened, remembering the relationship that they had together. He could never kill her, even if it was for a mission. No, I know that woman and she is a nice person. We can't do this. Well, there isn't any other way. You have to put your feelings aside for the mission. Kuroka lectured him. Well, if that's the plan, then I don't know if I can do this mission anymore, Naruto said before walking away. Kuroka yelled out to Naruto before he could walk away. Isn't this what you signed up for, though? Our group doesn't do the nicest of things, but we still do them to accomplish our goals. If you can't do this, then you'll never get back home to your world. I'll just figure out a new way to get back home. No matter what you do, I'm still going to do the plan. This woman will die no matter what you do. Naruto stopped after hearing that. He turned around and looked at Kuroka before yelling at her. You will do no such thing. I'll stop you before that could ever happen. And do you think you can stop me? From what you said during the meeting, you're not as strong as you once were. You will not hurt Iane. I may not be as strong as I was before, but I will still stop you. Fine, how about this? If you win, then we will use a different strategy that doesn't involve innocent people. Seeing Naruto nod in acceptance at that, Kuroka continued, however, if I win, then you will not only be a part of this mission, you will also permanently join the Cows Brigade whether you like it or not. I don't really have a choice in this, do I? You don't, Kuroka said, playfully smiling at the blonde. Fine then, I accept, Naruto said. And how do I know that you aren't lying? Because I never go back on my words. That is my ninja way. I have to stop her no matter the cost. I can't let Iane die, he thought before dodging balls of energy that were thrown at him. What the hell? Oops, I forgot to tell you that the battle begins now. Silly me, Kuroka said before throwing more balls of energy at him. Naruto managed to evade the incoming projectiles that were thrown at him before substituting himself with a nearby log that was right next to Kuroka. Kuroka was not expecting him to do that whatsoever, and so she had little time to dodge before she was punched directly in the face. She got knocked back a couple meters before saying, "So you want to play it that way, Foxy-kun? Well, then two can play it that game, Naya," she said before activating her senjutsu and moved to punch Naruto. Seeing this, Naruto activated his Earth Seal before placing his hand down on the ground, manipulating the ground to his will, forming a wall in front of him. This did nothing, however, as Kuroka immediately broke through the wall and punched Naruto. However, it turned out to just be a clone. She looked behind her only to see a fireball being launched at her face. Kuroka showed off her flexibility by leaning backwards, letting the fireball fly past her. Nice try, Foxy-kun, but it will take more than that, Naya. She launched quickly over to Naruto's position only to see him hold out his hand and shoot a bolt of electricity at her, briefly immobilizing her. Suddenly, she heard something below her, like a fuse was about to go out. Looking down, she saw a piece of paper with weird runes on it before it suddenly exploded in front of her face. Hopefully, I didn't hurt her too much, Naruto thought before realizing that it was just a clone. She can make clones of herself too? Suddenly, a figure pounced on him from atop a tree. Naruto managed to throw her off of him, harshly revealing it to be just another clone. Damn it, where is she hiding? Wait a minute, she's a Yukai, right? That means she can use chakra. Putting his hands to the ground, Naruto applied his chakra into the earth, trying to find Kuroka's chakra signature, only to find nothing. Does she not have a chakra signature? But how can that be? That thought was cancelled as Naruto had to dodge yet another ball of energy aimed at him. However, that only turned out to be a distraction as Kuroka appeared in front of him. An axe kicked him down into the ground. The force of impact was so strong that it created a crater from where Naruto landed. Picking him up from the ground, Kuroka threw him far into the forest, giving him a harsh landing. Naruto was half unconscious at this point in the battle. Steadily standing up, Naruto unleashed a torrent of water from his hands, which started to cover the area with water. Then he jumped onto a tree branch and electrocuted the water beneath him, paralyzing all that stood in it. Did I get her? Naruto said to himself aloud. Nope. Naruto turned around just to be punched square in the face by Kuroka yet again. Time to end this, Foxy-kun, Kuroka said before unleashing a purple mist that slowly covered the forest. Naruto saw this and immediately stopped breathing. Then he tried to clear the mist surrounding him by activating his wind seal and blowing it back. I can't breathe in this mist no matter what. Give up now, Foxy-kun. You are severely handicapped and I am much stronger than you. I wouldn't want to kill my future husband now, Kuroka comically stated. Like hell I will, Naruto said before using his wind seal to cut down most of the surrounding trees and blowing a lot of mist away. Then he used his earth seal on the ground, forming a mud sword before solidifying it, enhancing its durability. He quickly ran at Kuroka before taking multiple slashes at her, but missing every time. Her flexibility proved to be too much for Naruto when she leaned backwards and put her hands on the ground for support before grabbing him by her legs and tossing him over her head with them. Not giving him any time to recover, she kicked him in his chest, which launched him into a boulder. Finishing him off, she threw a massive orb of chakra at him. Naruto couldn't handle the amount of damage that he was taking, so he passed out from the pain. Kuroka then walked over to his body and dragged him into an abandoned building for him to recover afterwards. Naruto was woken up abruptly and was greeted to Kuroka's face watching over him. Hello, Foxy-kun. I didn't expect you to be up so soon, Naya. So I lost, huh? How long was I out? Surprisingly, only for a day. Maybe the poison was not strong enough? I'll have to increase its effects, Kuroka said. No, the poison was strong. It's just that I have a high recovery rate. So are you going to uphold your end of the deal? Naruto didn't have a choice in the matter anyway. What do I do now? I promised Ayane to stay by her side, but I also promised Kuroka to uphold my end of the deal. My nindo was to never go back on my word, but now I have to. I'm sorry, Ayane. I wasn't strong enough to protect you. Seeing as Naruto was distraught from what was happening, she gave him time to think about things. The day is still young. Go to her and give her the best day ever. Can I be the one to kill her? I wouldn't want anyone else to do it, Naruto said solemnly. Do what you will, as long as the plan still stays intact. I'll meet you at midnight at the Devil's Base. Don't be late, she said as she walked away. As her footsteps grew quieter, Naruto knew that he had to go and see Ayane for the last time. After Naruto had arrived at Ayane's house, he quickly knocked on her door. When Ayane opened the door, she was not expecting Naruto to show up. Naruto, what's wrong? I just wanted to take you out on another date. Oh, but I'm not even ready yet. No worries, we'll just have a picnic at the park. Okay then, Ayane said before she and Naruto spent their day at the park. It was a relaxing moment for the two as they both snuggled into each other's embraces. I've had a really great time with you, Naruto. Before you showed up, I was really having a bad time. But when you did show up, it really brightened my life. Thank you for that, Naruto. At that moment, Naruto felt a pang of guilt in his heart. Could he really bring himself to kill Ayane, the one person who really loved him? No, he had to. It was for the mission, to get back home to everyone else who missed him. He made a promise to the two of them, but he had to break one to fulfill one. As the two were walking back to her place, Naruto felt very nervous thinking of what's to come. Thoughts were flying all over his head as he clutched the knife in his hand. What if I don't kill her and we run away together? No, Kuroka will just hunt us both down and kill us. Is there really nothing I can do? I feel so powerless, Naruto angrily thought. If he had just won the fight with Kuroka, this wouldn't have had to happen. I'm going to kill the only person who has really loved me. Well, Naruto, I had a great time. I hope we can do more of this together. You know, just the two of us having fun and being intimate. Seeing Naruto not respond to her, she looked at him worriedly. Naruto, is there something wrong? Ayane. Yes, Naruto? Please forgive me. Ayane felt metal pierce through her body. Her body was flaring up in pain as well. In Naruto, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Ayane. I was sent here to eliminate the nearby devils and killing you was a part of the mission. What about our relationship? Fake. It was all fake. Suddenly, he could hear her laughing. Naruto, I know you too well to know when you are telling the truth or not. It wasn't fake. You were being genuine to your feelings when we dated. And I can feel your tears running down my back. I'm sorry, Iane, that I couldn't keep your promise even though I said I would. Naruto cried out with tears running down his face. It's okay, Naruto. It's okay. Her voice was growing fainter by the second. Iane. Naruto pulled the knife out of her chest and laid her gently on the floor. Iane, please stay with me. You can't die just yet. Naruto, don't cry. It doesn't suit you. I forgive you, Naruto, because you brought light into my life and shed the darkness away. For that I'm grateful, but just promise me one more thing and be sure to keep it. Promise me that even after all of this that you'll still be yourself, the nice caring man I fell in love with. Don't let this moment change you. Goodbye, Naruto. Her eyes lost their color and she fell limp in his arms. Naruto hugged her lifeless corpse, not caring if her blood stained his clothing. Why? Why can't things go my way? Why is it that when I gain the respect of acknowledgement that I had wanted for so long, I'm suddenly whisked away into a whole different dimension? Why is it that when I finally find love in this lonely place that I have to kill her? Why, Kami-sama, tell me why? I'll keep your promise, Iane, Naruto said before pulling out the charm that she gave him. This is all I have left to remember her by. Then, remembering the mission at hand, Naruto pulled out the summoning slip that she had in her pocket before summoning the devil. Hey, Iane, I'm surprised that you summoned me so. Tom looked at the dead body of his contractor before looking around his surrounds. Who did this? Who killed her? I'm sorry about this. And before Tom could even react, he was paralyzed from a shock of lightning. He could see a blond man walk out of the darkness. Who are you? The one that will kill you and your friends, he said before killing him. Naruto looked at the two dead bodies in shame. His hands were soaked in their blood. Sure, as a ninja he killed a lot of people, but he never killed a comrade, much less his own girlfriend. That devil must have been a good friend of Iane, and I just killed him so easily without remorse. The least I could do is bury them. He walked over to the devil's body before pulling out an ID card that said his name was Tom. After that, he used his earth seal, and he made graves and tombstones for the both of them. Shoot, I need to figure out what time it is. Kuroka said to be there at midnight sharp. Maybe Iane has a clock somewhere in her house. As he walked into Iane's house, he saw the fox plushie that he had given her during the festival. She still kept it. Naruto walked over to the stuffed animal and put it in a storage seal. Looking over at the clock and seeing as he had 10 minutes to meet up with Kuroka, he made his way to the place. Kuroka was patiently waiting at the rendezvous point, silently thinking to herself, I hope Naruto is okay. I know what I did was harsh of me, but he needs to learn that not everything in life is perfect. The Cows Brigade is a faction that not everyone can join, and he needs to learn that. I hope this doesn't affect our relationship together. I still want him to bear my babies. Suddenly, Kuroka saw Naruto make his way over to her. Did you do it? Yes, Naruto solemnly said, his thoughts of the event still lingering. So what now? Since you saw the devil, disguise yourself as him and walk into the building. Try to get everyone in there to the living room, then once you have done that, I'll come in and kill everyone there. How do you know that everyone will be there? I am a pretty good censor. Right. Whatever, just get in there and do your magic. She then saw a puff of smoke and saw a devil appear where Naruto once was. His disguise is perfect. It looks like a devil and the power signature is that of a devil. Okay, good luck. As Naruto walked into the building, he saw many other devils in there as well. If he had to make a rough estimate, he'd say about 20 of them. Tom, how was your client today? One of the devils asked. Same as usual, really. Hey, can I get everyone to come inside the living room? I have an important announcement to make. Sure, Tom. Hey, everybody, get your asses to the living room. There is an announcement. Multiple devils came downstairs and went into the living room to hear the supposed announcement. All right, Tom, let's hear it. All right, guys, first I would like to thank you all for coming here to hear this announcement. Yeah, just get on with it already. I didn't stop jacking off to hear this mushy bullshit. A devil said pretty crassly. Shut up, Adam, or I'll make you shut up. Sorry about that. Go on ahead. Kuroka at the moment was waiting for the right moment to strike. Seeing as how all of the devils were currently in the living room, she got into her senjutsu state before running towards the building at a fast pace. Right, let's get on with the announcement, shall we? And after Naruto said that, the glass windows shattered to reveal Kuroka brandishing her sharp claws for everyone to see. Taking this as his cue to act, Naruto activated his Earth Seal to trap everyone inside the living room so that they could not escape. This place had become their graves. Kuroka was just killing everyone there with her abnormally sharp claws. A swift slash to the neck and a devil would die, simple as that. The devils had started to realize the threat before them and started to retaliate back, using their demonic power to form weapons and attack them both. Naruto had resorted to use his lightning seal to add a high voltage strike to their hearts, which would overload it, causing them to have a heart attack. The devils' numbers were dwindling down by the second, and they seemed to have done no damage whatsoever to the two of them. After the slaughter that had happened, Naruto sat on the couch, reflecting on all that he had done today. There was just so much blood on his hands now that he was wondering if he even did the right thing. Naruto, Kuroka called out to him, "Come on, we need to bring all of this stuff back to base." Right. I'll store them in my storage seal." As Naruto was busy storing stuff, Kuroka saw the look on his face. It was a depressing sight, seeing the usual happy Naruto being this distraught. Kuroka had to teach Naruto that to get what you want in life, you have to do it yourself. "All right, Kuroka, let's go." And they both teleported back to home base. Unknown place. When they both got back to base, they immediately headed towards Office's office. They both reported their entire mission to her before they left. Before Naruto could leave, however, Office told him to stay. "Now, Naruto, I've heard that things didn't go the way you wanted it to. Am I correct?" "Yes, I didn't want to do Kuroka's plan since I was in a relationship with a girl that I was supposed to kill." "I see. Well, Naruto, I expect you to complete the mission without any problems like this anymore. I highly advise you to not make any relationships with any of the people you meet during your travels, as it will only hinder your progress." "I'll try to next time." Naruto started to walk out of the room before he heard Office speak once more. "Heed my advice, Naruto, since you will be going on reconnaissance missions more often due to your abilities. If I find that you can't complete the task because you made friends with the enemy, then I will have to kick you from the faction, which would also result in your death." "Will do, Office," Naruto finally said before walking away to think about all that had happened. "I can't kill you just yet, Naruto. You are too valuable a piece to die," Office thought before going back to work. And so the past couple of months went by and Naruto was constantly assigned mission after mission of killing people. His least favorite ones were the reconnaissance missions, because he would have to make connections with other people before stabbing them behind their backs. He heeded Office's advice, though, to not have too much of a connection with them, though. Over time, Naruto changed a lot. Long gone was the happy, carefree Naruto, and was instead replaced with a cruel and brutal Naruto who got the job done no matter what. He still remembered the promise he made to Iane about still keeping a part of himself alive amidst all of the chaos that was happening. Like a switch, Naruto could go from brutal and cruel back to carefree and happy. He had to do this lest he go insane from everything. The charm that she had given to him was basically his lifeline to stay sane throughout everything. He always kept it with him no matter where he went, and treasured it deeply, as well as the fox plushie that he still kept in his office room. It was a reminder of her and the sacrifice that he made. It was too far to go back now. Naruto had a really good relationship with Office, as he would tell her stories from his world, and they were seeming to turn out as friends. Although to Office, Naruto was more of a trusted ally than a friend. She even let him make the faction a base, and she was honestly surprised at the amount of effort that was put into it. Needless to say, it was very well done. One day he was assigned a very crucial and important mission from Office. "I have a very important mission for you today, Naruto. Feel free to take as much time as you need for this mission, because I will not accept failure." "What do I have to do?" Naruto asked as he was handed files from Office. "I need you to do another reconnaissance mission, but this time, it will be a high-class devil named Riser Phoenix. You will be disguised as him, so you can gain access to the Phoenix household. You are also to be engaged with Rias, another high-class devil. Your mission is to try to get as much Phoenix tears as possible during your stay at the Phoenix household and transport them to me over time. The next mission is to steal the information from Ajuka's laboratory, specifically the one on evil pieces. Wait, what do you need the evil pieces for? I'm interested about the boost in abilities that it gives. It would also make it much easier to assign different groups to go on missions. Instead of applying devil magic into the person's system, I'll make it so it applies my power into your body, which would make you even stronger and without any weaknesses. It will be very handy in the future as well. But you do know that other factions are conspiring to overthrow you, so if you give them more power, it will just make it even worse. Yes, I know that, but that's why I will apply a kill switch in the pieces. There are many stray devils because they abandon their masters, and then other devils have to hunt the stray devils down. But why not just apply a kill switch on the pieces, so if a piece rebels, then you can just kill them instantly? Of course, only I would have the power to do this, but you see my point? Yes, that makes a lot more sense now. Great, now there is a couple side missions that you will have to do as well. The Chaos Karma Dragon Tiamat resides somewhere in the familiar forest. I want you to subdue her and bring her here somehow. I could always use stronger pieces to join my faction. Secondly, I want you to announce our faction to the underworld during the wedding, which, by the way, I need you to speed up the date of when it happens. Why exactly am I going to be revealing our faction to the underworld? Is that not the opposite of what we are supposed to do, since we are supposed to be operating from within the shadows? I was just getting to that. Sirs X, Azazel, and Michael, who are the three faction leaders, are apparently buddies with each other according to our spy. Since they have been trying to push for peace within all three of the factions, if there is a threat that is dangerous to all three of them, it will make them want to push for peace even sooner. They will probably choose Kuo for their meeting, since it is a pretty neutral area, and that will be our time to strike. Rias Gremory and Sona Citri are the daughters of the current Maos, and they both currently attend Kuo Academy. If you can get in there as Riser Phoenix and plant one of your seals in there, then it will make our attack much easier. Okay then, sounds simple enough. And who will be joining me on this mission? Your personal team will do just fine, since it will mainly be you who will be conducting everything. Okay, will do, Naruto said before walking out of the room. He called his team members who were on standby to meet them at the base. Naruto-sama, reporting for duty. A woman called out to him. This was Artoria Pendragon, or Saber, Fate series, as she is more commonly known by. She and her brother Arthur Pendragon joined the Cows Brigade to reforge Excalibur. Since she was supposed to be in line to be the next heir, she was the one who was supposed to wield the blade, and her brother is helping her out with that. They were both separated into different teams. Arthur was on Vala's team, the current White Dragon Emperor, and she was on Naruto's team. She wields Caliban, a powerful holy sword, while her brother wields Excalibur Ruler, a fragment of the original Excalibur. Artoria is most useful with taking out devils due to their weakness against holy objects. She is usually there with Naruto acting as his bodyguard, and she was someone who he could trust. There was also a teenage boy that was with her. This was Kaneki, Tokyo Ghoul, specifically Rude, and he was a ghoul. Since ghouls can't eat normal human foods, they resort to eating the humans themselves. He joined the faction so that he could kill people and eat their corpses. It was like an addiction to him, and he just couldn't stop. He mainly does missions with a lot of killing involved, especially if the bodies needed to be disposed of. Kaneki was always on standby, seeing as he had nothing other to do besides eating humans. He gets real crazy if he goes too long without eating, which makes him perfect for slaughtering missions. Artoria, Kaneki, we have a mission to do. Artoria, I want you to sign up as a teacher for Kuo Academy and plant these seals inside of the building, he said, handing her small slips of paper. Watch out for Sona Citri and Rias Gremory, as well as their respective peerages. Kaneki, attend Kuo Academy as a student, and watch out for the two devil girls as well, and both of you report back to me weekly. While Kaneki just nodded in acceptance, Artoria asked, what will you be doing then? I will be getting into the role of Riser Phoenix. I will need some time to get his personality down, but once that is done, I will kidnap him and lock him away until further notice. So what's the plan then? How are we going to do this? The plan is to plant multiple seals within devil territory to heighten our advantage. I want you to find Tiamat somewhere in the familiar forest and plant seals around the cave to close her in. I will hold every devil at the wedding hostage until I get the information I need, and will report it to you to find the lab, okay? She gave an affirmative nod before the two of them walked away. I think I can ask Kuroka to lend me her poison, so that taking the devils hostage would be much easier. Yeah, this will be a good plan. He thought before walking away to find Kuroka. Yeah, I'll give you the poison under one condition. My little sister Chiron will be at the wedding, and I want you to kidnap her and bring her to me. And in return I get the poison? Kuroka gave a firm nod. Sounds easy enough. Deal. They both shook hands and Kuroka gave him the poison. That poison should take out pretty much everyone attending that wedding. All right then, thanks Kuroka. See you later. And he walked away. Hey Kaneki, during the wedding attack I will need you to kidnap a girl. Naruto said over his earpiece. She is short and has white hair with a petite body. It is vital that she is to be kidnapped and brought back to base. All right. Now time to get this plan set in motion. The following months went just as Naruto had planned it to be. He got a massive storage of phoenix tears that were waiting to be transported back to Ophis, and the team had placed a multitude of seals around the area without anyone noticing at all. He had also nailed his part as Riser to perfection. No one had even suspected that Riser was missing whatsoever. It was all just too easy. It was quite hard trying to replicate the Phoenix regeneration, but he bypassed it by increasing his speed and evasion so that he never gets hit. He watched on top of the roof at the battle that was going on at the raiding game. Naruto was utterly crushing the other team. Rias Gremory has forfeited the match. Riser Phoenix wins. And I didn't even have to do a single thing. All I really had to do was train Revel and unleash her upon the enemy. Since she was immortal, she could never lose, so it was an easy win. Naruto smiled. It was time to show the world the power of the Chaos Brigade. Flashback end. Rias was having a stressful few days. First, she finds out that her friends, family, and peerage were attacked by an unknown person who claims to be a part of a dangerous faction led by a dragon god, and now Kaneko was nowhere to be found. This caused everyone else to be sad and gloomy, as well, seeing as their lovable family member might have been killed. It was late at night, and she was still in the ORC building shuffling through paperwork. Everyone else had left home for the day, but she stayed behind to do paperwork so that she could take her mind off of the past events. Asterisk knock, asterisk knock. She raised her eyebrows at this. There were detection runes around the building, but it never went off. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she opened the front door just to see no one there. She heard a soft meow and looked down to see a white cat that was sleeping on the doorstep. Kaneko? She said to herself. She recognized the cat when she was younger. It was the day she got her first rook. She looked around the area to see who could have brought her here, only to find nothing. Shrugging at this, she gently picked up the cat and closed the door. Rias then softly placed the cat down on the couch. This brings back memories to simpler times. She thought before laying on the couch opposite to Kaneko. Good night, Kaneko. Welcome back home. And she drifted off to sleep without a worry in mind. Chaos Brigade Base. Naruto, welcome back. I have finished manufacturing the evil pieces, and you will be the first team to test it out. Thank you, Ophis. Naruto replied before picking up the pieces. As the leader, you will be designated with the King Piece. The King Piece has a new ability, which is the disciplinary one. Whenever a piece is out of line, activate the power and they will be paralyzed, restraining them from doing what they were doing. I, however, will have access to all of the pieces, and if a piece is out of line, I can kill them whenever I want. Okay then, I will be going and assigning my team to the pieces. By Ophis. Naruto walked out before calling all of his team members to assign them their roles. If I am correct, then Surzex, Azazel, and Michael should be having their peace meeting soon, which will give us an opportune moment to strike down one of the opposing factions. Less enemies to worry about as well. I should get in contact with some magicians and stray devils then. Ophis thought before continuing to work. The other factions better be ready to face the strength of the Chaos Brigade. That's it for today. I will stop here. Thanks for watching.